Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm filming a video on how to plan, research and find hikes in your area. I get a lot of messages saying, I want to start hiking, but I don't know where to start. I don't know how to find good hikes to do or research them. So this video is basically to help you do that. And I'm going to show you 6 of the best ways that we use to find the hikes that we do, and they all seem really good. So hopefully that helps. But if you could just subscribe to my YouTube channel, it really helps my channel grow, and I'd love your support, and we'll get into it. So the first one I'm going to share with you, and probably the best way that we do find a lot of our hikes and get a lot of inspiration, is through Facebook groups. And I didn't really know this was kind of a thing until I started obviously getting into hiking, and then it kind of started popping up on my newsfeed and suggesting like Facebook hiking groups for me. So I joined a few. The best one probably in Australia is Hiking in Australia and New Zealand. There's 47,000 people in there, and it's basically just full of lots of tips, recommendations for hikes, and people are just constantly posting photos and videos of places that they've been and things that they've found. So honestly, that's probably where we get most of our inspiration and I guess tips and stuff. So you can also post in there questions. You might say, okay, I want to head to this national park on the weekend, like what's some of the best hikes that you guys recommend, and you'll get heaps of people comment with lots of useful information and tips and all that sort of thing. So would highly recommend, if you're in Australia, joining that Facebook group. I'll link it below. But in other countries or even other states, you can just search, hiking and then your state or your country, and I'm sure groups will come up. Because on Facebook you can actually select groups in your search criteria, so it'll only show groups relevant. There's also ones relevant to certain hikes or things like that. So when we did the overland track in Tasmania, there's one actually just called Overland Track Tasmania, and we joined that. It's got 9,000 people in it, and it's basically just full of tips and like recommendations. And obviously when you're heading to a new state and doing a hike that you haven't done before, which in that example that was a week, so it's a relatively long one, it's just great to get lots of information that you probably wouldn't get otherwise, and it's all from people who have basically done the hike before. So definitely jump on Facebook and just search your area, your state, even like certain regions. And then once you join a few, Facebook will probably start recommending some more that'll just kind of pop up in your newsfeed, and it'll be like, do you want to join these? So it's a great place to start. All right, so tip number 2 is jumping on the website for your state's parks. So obviously Victoria is Parks Victoria. If you don't know which park you want to go to, you can just kind of browse through all the different parks in your state, and it'll have information on all of them. So say you know which park you want to go to, like Mount Buffalo National Park, but you don't know what hike to do there, or you just want to see if there is good hikes to do there. Parks Victoria, for most national parks, they have a visitor guide. So if you search Mount Buffalo National Park and then scroll down, there should be a download link for the visitor guide. So I actually printed this one off here. So it's basically, this one's pretty detailed, the Mount Buffalo one. The start is basically all just information about how to get there and all that sort of thing. And then it'll have maps which show all the picnic areas and where a lot of the hikes start. So it's handy not just for hikes, but for visiting for the day or camping or anything like that as well. And then it actually lists all the different hikes and has kilometers and how many hours it takes, where to start, what you'll see. So it's actually really good. And a lot of people don't know that actually exists on the Park Victoria website. So if you are from Victoria or planning a hike in Victoria, I would recommend jumping on their website and downloading the guide for the park that you're thinking about going to, or even just researching. We used it for the Cathedral Range hike that we did, and it was really good. We just printed off the map, and we kind of actually made our own hike from the map and the distances that it listed, but made our own hike out of combining a few of them. But for example, like this Mount Buffalo one lists 23 different hikes, so it's really good information, and obviously it's going to give you a good starting place if you wanted to make your own or anything like that. And I would highly recommend that if you're from Victoria. And I'm also sure that other states would have a similar thing, like Tasmania Parks and Wildlife Service. Each state has their own parks website, and I'm sure they would all have similar things or guides to their national parks. So number 3 is hiking websites and apps. The first one that I would recommend is the All Trails app. It's pretty good. You can download it, and you can either search by park, you can go on the map and kind of zoom in and out and move to the location you're looking at and find nearby ones, or you can kind of browse through like the homepage and find like kind of like an explore page and find ones that you may not know about. It doesn't have all the hikes obviously on there, but it's got a pretty good range, and it's got a lot of reviews and photos, so you can look through what other people have done and see if you think that that's a good suit for you, basically. But it's really good with like distances and starting points and that sort of thing, and kind of, you know, following the GPS to like stay on trail and all that sort of thing. But yeah, that's a good place to start. And also in Australia, there is Trail Hiking Australia, which is www.trailhiking.com.au. And you can basically just jump on there. It's basically the same as all trails, but they do have different ones on each. They are different websites, obviously. But yeah, just good for inspiration and to find ones in the locations that you're looking for. Another great way of finding trails and hikes and walks is to actually go to visitor centres. And I know a lot of people probably don't do this these days because the whole world is digital and everything you need is online. But I love going to visitor centres and getting brochures and maps and that sort of thing and having physical copies. I don't know, but anyway, I love it, and it's a great way to get inspiration and to find good hikes and that sort of thing. So I've got a few examples here that we've collected over the past, few months. This one here is for Bright, and it's actually a really cool kind of fold out, and it's got like all your different hikes and that sort of thing. They do really good ones. They have, this one's for long walks and trails, and they've also got like short and then medium ones. So yeah, if you head into your local visitor centre, or when you're going to a location, say you're going to Bright, and you're not sure which hike you want to do, or you're thinking about one but you're not sure, just stop in the morning, talk to the locals, like they know everything, and then they'll probably give you brochures and that sort of thing, which have got heaps of different ideas. You might change your mind, they might recommend a different one, they might say, oh, the weather's not great for that one, maybe try this one instead. But yeah, I love getting all these, and it's good to keep, and then obviously for next time, they'll have other ones in there that you could plan for, and then you've got these kind of on hand to help you. So yeah, check out your local visitor centre. Even if you go to ones near the area, or say your local council one, you can often get books for other shires and councils that aren't your own, so you don't have to actually go there a lot of the time. But yeah, see how you go, and definitely worth a try. And then similar to number 4, number 5 is using books. So I've got quite a few kind of hiking books. This one's Australia's Best 100 Walks. This one's Top Walks in Australia, and this one's Best Walks of the Victorian High Country. So depending on where you are, you can probably at least definitely get one for your state or country, which will give you good inspiration. And then depending on where you are, you might be able to get one like this one for Victoria's High Country. So somewhere like close to you that's more specific to a certain region. Obviously got maps, photos, lots of different inspiration. Obviously it does cost money, but not much. And if you're going to keep it forever and do a lot of those hikes in there, it's definitely a good investment. I love books, so I love keeping these and like flicking through them and finding cool places to go. And it's just good that, it's a well-researched product, and that, these hikes have been tested and they've done the photos and definitely like got all the information to prove it and to help you. So I definitely love using books to find hikes. And then the last tool that we use to find good hikes is actually through Instagram. So depending on your page and your account, who you follow, that sort of thing. I mean, I follow a lot of travel people and a lot of people in Victoria as well. So often my newsfeed is just full of people like doing hikes in our area anyway. But you can use things like hashtags, say hashtag hiking Victoria, and just search that and see the accounts that come up in the posts, and then you can just flick through them, and there might be photos and be like, wow, that looks amazing, I want to go there. And then like go onto that post and see where they went and all that sort of thing. And from there you could Google it or go onto one of the websites or whatever. Another one is to follow tourism pages on Instagram. So for example, See High Country, they obviously post Victorian high country, not just hikes, but all sorts of travel, inspiration, that sort of thing. Obviously a lot of it is hiking, so that works out well. You just see photos and be like, oh my God, that's beautiful, I want to go there. Also your local parks page, so Parks Victoria, or your state page. Parks Victoria often have lots of good walks and things that they post. Obviously then your cities as well, you might get some out of, say, like Visit Melbourne. They might post some regional ones occasionally, probably more city, but even like the Australia tourism page or Tasmania, they'll often post hikes, but it'll be less specific to your area. So if you can follow local area ones, even shires and councils, they might post different hikes. But yeah, just follow as many kind of travel and hiking pages and accounts that you can find on Instagram. And then I'm sure your newsfeed will be full of all the stuff that you want to see, as mine is, which is why I want to travel all the time, because every time I go on Instagram, it's just amazing photos all the time. And here I am sitting here being like, oh, I need to get out there. So I hope this video helped. Those are the 6 ways that we find our hikes and find inspiration, and not even just for hikes, but just for travel in general. If you have any other ways that you use, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, if you can help others out and other ways to find great hikes, that would be awesome. If not, leave some feedback. I'd still love to hear from you, and I love knowing that the content that I'm creating is helping. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.